Right, we're on a time limit, so we're going to get on with it. We've got an hour, less than an hour to do this. Okay, I'm just going to prep my skin as normal by moisturising. I do this regardless of what the foundation is. Whether it's a dewy foundation or a matte foundation, I still need to moisturise. Let's just try and ignore the fact that I'm ill. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to correct one side and I'll leave the other side uncorrected. And then you can see the difference of the foundation, if it looks ashy on my skin or not. Okay, so skin is prepped. So I've got 3 shades of the Makeup Revolution Fast Base foundation sticks. F12 and F10. These two, I think a mix of them is my correct shade. But what I'll do is use F12 all over. I'll use F10 under my eyes to highlight, and then I'll use F14 for contour. I watched Sid and Dina's channel yesterday. Sid kept saying contour, too much contour. Now I can't stop saying it. Okay, so here we go with the swatches. I've got the foundation at the top, F10, and that's C10 underneath, F12, C12, come on focus, F14, C14. I think the foundation matches pretty well to the concealer. Alright, so other than swatching the foundations, I haven't actually tried them on my face yet, so this genuinely is first impressions. So I'm going to start off with F12 all over my face. This is pretty much dead on my skin tone. It glides really well. It definitely reminds me of the Makeup Forever foundation stick, because that one is really dewy as well. Okay, so I'm going to blend this out because I don't want to talk too long looking weird. I would always use a beauty sponge, so I'm not doing anything different just for the purpose of the review. Okay, I don't know if it's the lighting or what, but I feel like I've got a lot of texture here. I have that texture anyway in my skin, but I don't know if it's emphasizing it, or maybe it's just the lighting, I'm not sure. But it is really easy to blend. But dewy foundations also mean a lot of creasing, even for dry skin. Okay, here's a close-up. So you can see this side is the side that I corrected. It's uncorrected. Obviously I'm going to go in with the F10 under my eyes, and then you can see in more detail. Some people don't like foundation lips. I think you can see some of the greyness peeking through here. So it's definitely like a medium coverage foundation. I definitely wouldn't say it's full coverage. Definitely some greyness going on this side, I think. So now I'm going to go in with F10 for my under eyes. I do like how quick and easy it is just gliding onto the skin, but you have to be careful because I feel like you can very easily put too much product, and especially with a dewy foundation like this, it's gonna slip and slide everywhere. It layers well. I'm blending it in and it doesn't look too bad. It looks so shiny because I'm sat right in front of the window, but it's actually not that shiny in real life, okay? I feel like it is looking a little bit cakey around my nose area. I'm just going to zoom you in now. Okay, so you can see under my eyes, it's not concealer, so obviously I'll have to go over on top to cover my dark circles, and I've got crazy dark circles. It's done well to hide the discoloration around my mouth, but again, it's not full coverage even with a second layer. And then around my nose, I mean, I've got a crusty nose at the moment because I've got a cold, but I feel like there is some build up and it's not looking as flawless as possible, but maybe powder will correct that. Okay, so now we're going to go into the final foundation stick in F14 for contour. I really like contour sticks to be like this, to be honest. I've used my Milani cream foundation a few times and contoured that way, but I much prefer something like this. And it is very travel friendly, just throw it into your bag and go. And it's good for like people on holiday. Oh, definitely contour here. Contour the heck out of this. Let's do a little bit on my nose. Okay, so I'm going to blend this out with a brush. I really like how this blends out, you know. I think that's the best thing about this foundation is how nicely it blends. I don't even know what brush this is, but this is, it looks like a Makeup Revolution one. Too much. Oh. The funny thing is, I have to go to school straight after this with a fully contoured face. People are going to think it's Eid or something. Okay, I need to blend that out. Look at me. I think just because I need the extra coverage, I'm going to go in with the C10 concealer from Makeup Revolution. I know it looks like layer upon layer upon layer, but I need to do this. Just that tiny area. I prefer to use a brush than a beauty sponge for my under eye, just because it gets in really close. But I have seen a review by the Blushing Giraffe on YouTube, and I think it was the Givenchy pointy sponge she used, and it's really good for under the eye, so I am definitely going to look into that. Actually, the other thing I need to do is I'm going to do quite a simple-ish look with this palette. I've just got this as well in the same order. This is the Makeup Revolution Reloaded Iconic Division palette. So I did a look with the Mint Chocolate Bar palette, and everyone seemed to like that, so I think I'm going to do a quick one with this. Obviously, if you're here just for the foundation review, then that's fine, you can skip ahead to the end for my final thoughts, but I'm going to do a quick look with this. And I also want to use these highlighting drops from Makeup Revolution. So I got the colour Euphoric Gold. Actually, I'm going to use this now before I powder. So I got Euphoric Gold. The problem that I had with the previous liquid highlighter drops, I mean, this is one of the ones that in their initial release, and it's called Luminous Gold, Liquid Luminous Gold. The initial batch, they all came out with like a silvery reflect, which I didn't like on my skin tone. Okay, so I've just swatched them on the back of my hand. So the one on the top is the initial release, which was Liquid Luminous Gold. And it's got a very white sheen on it. And then the bottom one is Liquid Euphoric Gold. And it is a little bit more yellow gold, which I like, but still it has some silver to it. So I'm hoping they will release more warmer shades. I don't know. Okay, already I'm liking this a lot better than the other one. I feel like it is moving the foundation a little bit, I don't know. It's definitely moving the foundation around. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm using my finger. As I'm patting it, you can kind of see my fingerprints, and it's lifting the foundation a little bit. Just going to clean my finger off and try again. I think it's just because of the dewiness of the foundation, so it's always got a bit of slip and slide to it. Right, I'm going to set the rest of my face, and then we're going to move on to the eyes. I'm going to do something quite simple because, again, I am in a bit of a rush, but I want to use as many colours as possible. I love the way this palette looks, you know. By the way, there's only like 2 shimmers in here. These two. And then I think this one's like a satin finish, or maybe it's two-tone. Oh, yeah, that's a duochrome. It's got a pink flip to it. I think I'm just going to do an all matte look today. Let's go in with this delicious orange. It's powdery, but not as powdery as some of the Makeup Revolution palettes that I've used. Look at the creasing on that, love. So there's Mother's Day celebrations going on at school today, and that's why I'm rushing this video. But I've been ill for the past week. and I can't wait anymore to film this video. I really like that colour, you know, looks good. Love it. It's like it looks really mustard on the eyes. I'm really building up this colour because I'm not sure what colour to use next. I'm going to go in with this shade on the lower lash line. I don't know if it's because I'm using a small pencil brush, but that one is a very bad way. I mean, there's not much to say. I'm not reviewing this eyeshadow palette because I know it's going to be good anyway. I've always been pleased with their eyeshadow palettes. So I'm just doing a simple look. But I already like this palette from the 2 shades that I've used. I'm going back in with this one just to smudge out the lower lash line. I'm just using a slightly bigger pencil brush. I really want to use one of the greens, and this one is speaking to me. The most wearable way to do this is just to smudge along the lash line. Again, I think it's just when you push it with your pencil brush, there is a lot of powder coming off there. So pretty. You do have to build this colour up a little bit. I feel like because it's a little bit more on the powdery side, it does kind of fall off quite easily, but I'm happy to build them up. I don't want to look too crazy because I am going to school later, so I'm just going to use that first blending brush, and I'm just going to slightly blend, just very slightly. I'm going to throw a bit of yellow in there. Go on, let's see how this goes. People are going to think, what the hell? What is she thinking? Wearing yellow eyeshadow? I'll go back in with this. I mean, if I was just sitting here filming for the sake of YouTube and not going anywhere, then I would be more daring with my colours. But girls gotta get out in, we got about 15 minutes. But I am loving this. I mean, when you look at this, you think, oh, lovely colours. But I would never wear that out. But I would totally wear this out. And I just want to smudge more of this orange on the lower lash line to bring some warmth there. I'm going quite low with this actually. That's the thing with Makeup Revolution products. You can't beat them on price. For that price and the quality they give, they are unbeatable. That goes for their eyeshadows. I mean, they're older concealers from, you know, way back when. I didn't hear anyone talk about them and they didn't have the shade range. But now with their fast base foundations and their concealers, it's definitely something I would use on an everyday basis. You don't want to use your Makeup Forever on an everyday basis. You want to save that for special occasions. This is something that I think I would easily repurchase again and again. Okay, I think I'm done with the eyes. I'm just going to add some lashes and find a lipstick to throw on. Okay, so this is the finished look. I really like how the eye makeup turned out. And on my lips I have got the Colourpop Matte X lipstick in Ziggy, and then I did go over it with the C10 concealer just to kind of nude it out a little bit because it was looking a little bit too vibrant. And again, as I said a million times before, I gotta go to school in a second. So final thoughts on the foundation sticks. For the price, you can't beat them. They do very much remind me of the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation stick. In terms of product, you get 12.5 grams in this one, and this is what, over £30 I think, or around that price. Okay, so you get 6.2 grams in the Makeup Revolution foundation sticks. That's £10 for 12.5 grams versus about 30 grams. Did I say £10 or 10 grams? £10 for Makeup Revolution for 12.5 grams versus this. I have to look in the corner because I'm thinking Makeup Forever foundation stick is around, I think it's like £32 for the same amount of product. And to me, and I've used this a few times, it gives the same kind of finish. that dewy finish. It does slip and slide a little bit. Like I said, I have dry skin, and it definitely is something that you have to set. I think in terms of coverage, it gives you similar coverage, maybe a little bit more with the Makeup Forever stick actually. But this one is buildable. You know, I said there was lots of texture around my face, and once it's set, I think it looks okay. So I'm very impressed with these. I knew I would be. You've probably seen plenty of reviews saying the same thing. I think people who have oily skin, or if they have problems with, you know, creasing, just generally, even with like matte foundations, maybe avoid this foundation. It'll be interesting to see if Makeup Revolution come out with more shades as well. I mean, I'm quite happy with the shades that I got. A lot of people have said the yellow undertone isn't quite there, but with the ones that I've picked, I'm quite happy with the finish. I always correct my under eyes, but you can see that side's corrected, that side's not corrected, and there's not all that much difference. I think I would notice it, but a general, you know, just looking at my face, it's not something that would stand out to you. It would be great if they released more shades, because 18 shades is great, but you can always do more. And because they've already announced that they will be releasing more of the concealer shades, I think this month, then I don't see why they can't do the same with the foundations. And then we can forget all the other foundations that exist in the world and just stick with Makeup Revolution. If they came out with like a matte version of this, then seriously, people need to be worried. Other companies need to be really, really worried. My thoughts on the liquid highlighter: I am really happy with the way it looks. I didn't put any other highlighter on top. Completely forgot, to be honest. I didn't put a powder highlight on top. I'm quite happy with the way it looks, so I'm not going to put anything on top. I didn't set my face with anything. It's just been powder, so I might just give it a spritz, a quick spritz. Actually, no. I'm happy with the way it looks, so I'm not going to. And in person, it doesn't look cakey or anything. Normally, just because of a force of habit, I always set with some kind of spray. This is a priming spray. It doesn't actually make your foundation last any longer, but I just use it anyway. I don't even know why. Finally, this I love. £4, man. £4. Just go and buy it already. And it's nice to have this in your collection. You can try some different looks. I'm really, really happy. I was on the fence about buying this just because I have the mint chocolate bar palette, but these I love the warm tones in this. So yeah, leave me a comment below if you've tried these concealers. If you've tried these foundations already and what your thoughts are. Let me know if there's certain looks you want to see on my channel, if you want me to do some tutorials for certain occasions. Whether you like it or not, I'm going to do one on this palette anyway. That's just because I want to. But yeah, I'll hope to catch you in my next video with a better voice. See you then. Bye.